is the plugin here, this level here. And what you can do is you can tell StumbleUpon that you're interested in these topics: oddities, entrepreneurship, graphic design, industrial design, interior design, photography, psychology, science, and travel. So I have told StumbleUpon this is the stuff that I'm interested in. Okay? So when the setting here is set to all and I stumble, it will just go and find a story that's interesting according to one of those boxes that I checked. It could be any part of this. So this is an interesting story, the deepest part of the ocean. This is probably from the science selection, right? But for you who are interested only in photography, let's change this from all to only photography. Okay, so these are all the things I've selected, and that's why it says all up here. But right now, I'll switch this from all to just photography. So now it's going to stumble only photography. And this is 21 awesome t-shirts for photographers, which is kind of interesting, actually. So this is something that, you know, if I found it, Guy Kawasaki, I'm trying to get as many followers as possible, so I look for interesting stuff all day. In fact, I have 4 or 5 ghosts who are also looking for interesting things all day. And we would have found this and we would have said, you know, this is a pretty interesting story. I think photographers will like it. I know that a lot of photographers follow me. So then I use a tool from a company called Objective Marketer. It's a JavaScript little thing. And what you just saw me do is I was on the t-shirt page. I clicked on this button. It has created a draft tweet for me, right? And this draft tweet has grabbed the title of the post and its location, and put it in a tweet for me already. This number here is telling you how many characters are in the tweet. So, just to repeat what I said, I used StumbleUpon. I found an interesting story about photography. I clicked on a JavaScript little link here, post to OM, Objective Marketer. It drafted the tweet for me. I am going to repeat this tweet 4 times every 8 hours starting right now. Okay? So, and I click on, but I am going to promote photography.alltop. Honestly, the reason why I find these interesting tweets is so that someone will also click on the second link in my tweet, which comes to me, photography.alltop, which I monetize, right? So that's why I'm trying to drive traffic to Alltop. So I would say something like, see more at... Okay, so what I've done is I found an interesting thing, 21 t-shirts for photographers. It's put in the link, and then I put in my little ad, see more at photography.alltop. I will click on publish, and now this will be published 4 times, 8 hours apart. And this is a very useful thing. I mean, there is no easier way to find good content. So let's just do that again. We'll do an instant replay. So we still have Stumble set to photography. So we'll click on Stumble. We found this beautiful shot, but you know, that's just a beautiful photograph. Here's another beautiful photograph. Geeky weddings we'll all remember. I have to say, this is worth tweeting. So, repeating the process, I click on my little JavaScript here. Once again, it's created this message, and I'll take out the blog post name. This time I won't put an ad, and I'll just do it again. I'll repeat it. I can change it. I can change it to repeat 2 times every 12 hours and publish. So now, if you went to my Twitter account, you will see that I just posted these 2 tweets, right? Yes?
Why do you set it to repeat?
Okay, so the question is, why do I set it to repeat? And the answer is because you should think of your Twitter stream as CNN. Okay, CNN. So if you ever sat down, if you ever had nothing to do in your life, turn on CNN and watch it for as long as you can stand. And you will see that, let's say that Barack Obama announces a grant for photographers, right? Whatever, right? So you would see that story at 7:30, 8, 8:30, 9, 9:30, 10. And I don't mean updates to the story. I mean it's the identical footage with the identical talking head. It's just basically identical. The same thing is true at ESPN. It's the same, whatever. Something talking about, LT getting traded or waived by the San Diego Chargers. 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30. So the assumption with ESPN and CNN is, guess what? Not everybody is glued to our TV station all day long. And so I have the same assumption with Twitter. I think I have the most interesting stream of tweets, but even I don't flatter myself so much as to believe that people are just sitting there waiting 24/7 for my tweet. So something that I tweeted at 8, at 8:15 for all intents and purposes is dead. Right? So I'm not as bad as CNN where I do it every half an hour, because I think that would just push my followers over the edge. They would start unfollowing me. But I think if I tweet something at 8 o'clock, 8 hours later, 8 hours later, 8 hours later, and 8 hours later, if that person complains to me that I've seen your tweet too many times, I would say to that person, you are on Twitter too often. Something is wrong with you, not me. Now, I also have an alternative solution for that person. At Guy Kawasaki, my Twitter account, repeats things 4 times. I also have at Altop, which only has it once. So I have 2 channels. It would be as if CNN said, if you come to CNN, we repeat our stories. If you go to CNN 2, we only run each story once. Take your pick. So that's what I've done. But I do believe in repeating tweets. I'll show you a graph later about how that works. So getting back to the demo here. Okay, so I showed you how to stumble upon to find interesting things. There's one more source. This is called SmartBrief. And so what SmartBrief does is it is a company out of Washington, D.C., and they have human editors who are organized by subject, and every day they look for the most interesting stories by topic. So, for example, if you're in the automotive business, there's one automotive editor finding all the most interesting automotive stories. Aviation and aerospace, biotech, and so on and so on. Unfortunately, they don't have one for photography, but we could probably ask them to do that. And then what happens is that every day you get an email, or you can go to a website like this. We'll pick one here. Let's say that you are into, let's find a social media one. Okay, so let's say you're really into social media. So you would subscribe to this social media SmartBrief, and every day you would get an email. I'll show you that if you want. And this would show you, or you can come to the website, and this shows you the best stories they found about social media every day. So, if you were at Nikon USA, and you didn't want to just tweet about photography, but you also wanted to show that you're in the flow of social media, you're not, a unidimensional person. You can talk about Facebook, you can talk about Twitter, you can talk about photography. You're a well-balanced, well-rounded, very fascinating person that people should follow, right? You might subscribe to the SmartBrief social media email newsletter, daily newsletter, and then you let some very smart human go through all the crap about social media every day and come to you with 10 or 15 stories a day. Then you pick on this. You pick on one. This is a very interesting looking story. How social media can give authors a boost. So some smart editor found this. If you actually wanted to read the source, you click through here, I think. Okay, so this is 5 tips for promoting your book on social media. This is a very good post. This is a very good post. This is a post that I would tweet, so we'll do the process again. I found this great story. I click on the objective marker in JavaScript. It's drafted 5 tips for promoting your book with social media. I will remove this stuff here. Now, in this case,